Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and this channel is all about sewing, costuming, fantasy clothing and many more, and also tips and tricks around crafting. And today we're talking about a topic that is deeply in my heart, and because we have problems with our planet, and also if we make clothing, there is a responsibility that we have to face. But before we start, if you want to stay notified, click on the subscribe button. I appreciate that a lot. And maybe if you also want to click on the bell, then you get a notification whenever I post new videos. And with no further ado, let's start. So now, we can all in general agree with the terms that our planet has problems. And I think there is a responsibility with every one of us that we try to solve this problem. For me especially, this means that I, in my personal life, try to work as much as possible with natural fibers, because there are a lot of chemicals and phthalates and every harming substances in synthetic fibers that are also going into the nature and also into our body and in our bloodstream. Because if we wear synthetic fibers and we heat up because we are sweating and we are moving, then these chemicals get free and also get into the body, and the skin absorbs them, and this can lead into illness and sickness, and I personally want to avoid that. But now trying to be as most as possible chemical free, because sometimes it's not that possible, especially with dyeing. There are natural dyes that are really cool, but if we work in areas where we have to do maybe something like a costume and theaters, we not always have the possibility to do it. But if we have the possibility, like if we sew our own clothing, then there are ways. And dyeing is one topic that I will cover maybe in another video, but today we're going to talk about care instructions, especially if it comes to washing. We all know that if we have the usual washing powder or liquid washing soap, that there are also a lot of microplastic and chemicals that I personally don't want on my body, because if we wash them, it will also stay in the clothing and it will be absorbed by the skin, and I don't like that. What I do now for almost 6 years is I wash with chestnuts. I collect them always in autumn and I prepare them for a whole year or two, and then I have enough washing powder, because in chestnuts there are a lot of saponines, and this is also why there are like bubbles. If there is a tree and you roll over them with a car, and there are also these little bubbles, because they include these saponines. And if you have the impression, oh, I can't believe that this is going to wash them, it does. I do this now since 6 years and it's great. So what I do, I collect them, and I try to collect mostly the chestnuts that are falling or that has been falling from the tree that day, so the really new ones, because they are a little bit easier to crush. And there are also ways of crushing that are better and not so good, and I will talk about that in a minute. So I collected them, I went home, I grabbed a knife, and then I tried to quarter them. So I quartered them because if you put a whole chestnut in a blender, it maybe destroys the blender. So cut them at least quarters. If you want to cut them a bit more, you're free to go. And yeah, now I just cut them, and if you just want the white stuff out of it, this is more for the white wash, and it keeps the clothing so clean and everything so perfect. And also for the colored fabric, you can use the whole chestnut. There's no problem with that. So I cut them, I blend them, so now we have like very tiny pieces, and this has to dry. You can use an oven, you can use it by laying it into the sun for some days. You can put it also on your heating system in your flat. And if you have like one bucket of 5 liters collected, this lasts you for a whole year for washing and even for hair washing with natural materials, but minimum for 1 year if you have one bucket. So this is very easy, and it's very efficient with costs, because also our day-to-day lives get more expensive and nature provides everything for us that we need. So I do that. You have your dried chestnuts, you can put it in a little glass and close it, and this will last for a whole year. It has to be stored dry. I think that is kind of common sense. So if you want to wash now, you take 2 or 3 spoons, you put it in a jar and you put water on it. If you put hot water on it, it will take probably about 5 minutes that the saponins go out and you have a not so see-through liquid there, and then you separate the chestnut from the liquid. And now that you have the rest that you just put aside, you can put it back into the jar and you can do the same thing up to 4 times. So it is really efficient. Now you put this just into your washing machine, and what I like to add is natrium bicarbonate, baking soda, just a spoon full of it, because and this takes all the smell out of your clothing, and this is really good. What I add next for rinsing it out is birch tree leaf liquid. So I collect birch leaves from the birch tree, maybe approximately about in April or May, because then the leaves are full of nutrients, and I dry them, and I just take also 2 or 3 spoons and I put water on it. I divide the leaves from the liquid and I put also this in, because this makes the clothing so soft and so smooth, and all without any chemicals. If you are now in a production, this is not going to work, but if you are like in a private setting, then this is a great thing to do, because it keeps your clothing clean. The only thing that you have to know, if you wash that way, your clothing will come out without a smell. So it is really neutral, and this is not with all these smell ingredients from rinsing from a chemical where you pull it out and it smells like apple or what else you took. It is just neutral. There is no smell attached to it, and this is something you probably should know before. But this is something that is really deeply in my heart, because I think we are all responsible for how we create now the reality of the world, and also that we have a responsibility for the planet we live on. And yeah, that's what I do, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about natural washing, let me know in the comments below, then I can really do a video with more information. This was just a quick ride, and yeah, if you want to be more informed about this specific topic, let me know in the comments. For now, I will leave you up again to your day, and I wish you a very beautiful and crafty day, and I see you next time.